How's it going today, YouTube? As promised, I'm going over my four-wheel drive conversion to my 2013 F-350. I bought it originally 5 years ago in 2015. It is currently 2020, obviously. And it was a two-wheel drive, 6.7 power stroke, crew cab long bed, XLT. In the past year, I've really done quite a bit to the truck. Past 2 years, I've been running the 35 by 12.5 R20s on the stock two-wheel drive suspension, which a lot of people said couldn't be done. The wheels are the Rockstar 2s with 18 millimeters of positive offset, and they're 20 by 9s. So if you're curious on what you can run for 35 by 12.5s on a two-wheel drive, there you go. I originally bought these steps about 3 years ago, I want to say. I paid 50 bucks for them because the driver's side came bent like that. Made it a little interesting to install, but I got both sides in. I traded the grill guard for a set of tires and the stock bumper. Since then, I have put the King Ranch mirrors and emblems on it, except for the door emblems. But it has the fender emblems, King Ranch door panels, seats, center console. The only thing that's really lacking is the radio out of the King Ranch. But the rest of the interior is all King Ranch interior, down to the carpet even. Truck's a little dirty right now, but I also drive it about 200 miles a day for work, back and forth between Midland and Pecos. But getting into the four-wheel drive conversion, I was trying to stay with using as factory parts as possible, but I ended up going with a set of 5-inch blocks. Factory blocks measure up to 3.71 inches, and these measure just under 5 inches. So I have about 1.25 inches of lift on the rear versus a stock two-wheel drive, or excuse me, stock four-wheel drive for an F-350. There you can see the transfer case, which bolted right up to the back of the transmission. The two and four-wheel drive transmissions are exactly the same, minus the bracket that you unbolt and replace the transfer case with. My truck has gone through some weight reduction, as you can see. The leveling kit is a ready lift 2.5-inch leveling kit, obviously. It says it right there. But to install the four-wheel drive front axle, I used the factory four-wheel drive buckets. I just ordered them from the Ford dealership. Factory F-350 springs, brand new spring isolators, brand new shocks, and the axle actually came out of a 2007 King Ranch dually. I unbolted the dually adapters from the Dana 60, and they're exactly the same with the exception of the lug nuts. The original thread pitch was, I want to say, 14 by 1.5, and the ones underneath the dually adapters were 14 by 2, which really wasn't that big of an issue. The leveling kit came with the track arm relocation bracket, coil spring spacers, bump stop spacers, However, the 2007 Dana 60 has smaller calipers in the front. It's a small detail, but if you're gonna try and use your stock calipers, it's not gonna work for the 05 to, I wanna say, 08 Dana 60s. 08 and up have the bigger brakes. But it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, it's by a fraction of an inch. But everything else was done using all factory parts, with the exception of the track arm bracket. Radius arms bolt to the radius arm mounts on the frame as they're supposed to, and alignment is actually spot on. If you're wondering why there's zip-tied dangling wires going to my fog lights, this ice storm that we had out here in the Midland, Odessa area gathered a bunch of ice on the underside of my grill guard and actually pulled the wire completely out of the LED pods. No fault to the manufacturer. There's probably like 30-40 pounds of ice that once it started melting off the grill guard, it was hanging by the two little wires. I still tow my gooseneck camper with it, and everything is still able to be used. I have a tri-fold tonneau cover here, and when it folds up, it comes to right here. The gooseneck hitch is right there. Plenty of space. I have a set of work lights. Because of how dark my tint is, it makes it easier for backing up at night without having to roll down all my windows and hooking up to a trailer. But this is what I've gotten done so far to it. There's going to be one more part where this actually becomes a dually. I've already got the dually rear axle. I just need to convert some of the ABS to the individual hubs like it is on this axle instead of the center sensor on the 2007 axle, and bolt the dually adapters back up to the front, and she'll be a pale adobe metallic dually. This color is already hard enough to find, and it's even rarer in a dually for this body style. As a little added bonus, if you're wondering what VEPR stands for, V-E-P-R, it's Russian for wild boar. Thank you guys for watching the walk around of my 2013 F-350 Power Stroke. Please stay tuned as this truck continues to evolve.